The following program is a public access production of the United Way of Cayuga County, who assumes full responsibility for its content. The content of this program does not represent the views of Auburn Regional Media Access, which serves as a forum for community expression and offers TV training, production facilities, and channel time to all Auburn area residents and organizations.
Welcome to Cayuga Connections, Conversations with United Way, a series where we shine a spotlight on the people and programs strengthening our community every day. I'm Lisa Kaminski, Executive Director of the United Way of Cayuga County. Your United Way invests in local solutions that help families thrive, and we're honored to partner with agencies that are on the front lines of supporting community resilience, youth opportunity, healthy communities, and financial security. Today we're talking with Lisa Chase from the Rev Theater Company. And I'm so glad you're joining us today. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
So for those who might not be familiar, can you share a little bit about the mission of the agency and what you're most known for in the community?
Sure. Simply put, our mission is to ensure that every resident of New York State has access to life-changing theatrical experiences. What we're best known for, I think, depends on what programming you interact with us on. We have two principal divisions. So we have our education work, which primarily happens in school buildings throughout New York State. Mm-hmm. We're in 68 school districts in New York State. About 60,000 kids a year are experiencing our shows and workshops right in their buildings. And of course, right here in Cayuga County, we're in the majority of school districts here in Cayuga County. But then we also have our summer musical series that we operate out at the Merry-Go-Round Playhouse. That's our Broadway in the Finger Lake series, where you get to see kind of traditional musical theater, Broadway style fare during the summer months here at Emerson Park.
Wow, that's great. Mm-hmm. When did your education program start that you are in so many schools?
Yeah, so we were founded in 1958 with education. Mm-hmm. We started, our founding mother, Sue Reifert, founded us in after-school programs, and then we have grown from there. So we had our after-school programming, and then our ACT Wagon, which a lot of people are probably familiar with, those that have been in the community a long time, where we bring shows to parks, summer schools, libraries, creating access in summer months to live theater. And then from that grew the in-school programming, and that sort of developed in the 70s, and we've just kind of grown from there.
Yeah. And is it mostly the Finger Lakes or like all throughout New York State?
Yeah, so I would say most of our programming is central New York, but we do go as far north as Watertown, as far out west as Niagara Falls, South Olean area, and kind of everywhere in between.
That's great. That's so great. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the programs that utilize United Way dollars and who they primarily serve and how those dollars are used?
Yeah, so United Way funding is critical in supporting our in-school programming. So the United Way dollars are focused on supporting our Cayuga County school districts in ensuring that they can continue to bring our programming into their buildings even when budgets are difficult, right? Because it helps us ensure that our costs can stay in line, right? And what I love about the United Way, and what I think is so special, is that United Way sees the value of the arts in whole child development, right? And that supporting an arts organization is critical for the United Way. And I think that is so special, because I think as an arts organization, so often we're fighting to prove our value, and it's so nice that the United Way already knows that the arts have to be part of whole child development and have to be a foundational piece of everything that is built in a child's life.
Yeah, and when so many, when a lot of schools are having to reduce their budgets, the art programs are sometimes some of the first to
Absolutely.
be lost, so that's great.
Yeah, that's why we're always feeling like
Yep.
we're fighting
Yeah.
for folks to understand, but it's so great that United Way
Yeah.
knows that and supports us
Yeah.
in that way.
That's awesome. Is there a story that you might be able to share that illustrates the impact of your work?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Yeah, we have a program for middle school students. It's a creative writing competition where middle school students submit to us pieces of creative writing, and then from that creative writing we create an original show with original music based on the writing. And it's called Echoes, and we're echoing back to them what's important, what's on their mind, and it allows us to celebrate young writers and encourage them to continue to write. And selfishly, it allows us to always have a show that's relevant to middle school students, because sometimes it's tricky.
Yeah.
So it ends up being kind of like a variety show with music, and so we bring the show back out to the schools that are participating and we perform it. And students oftentimes don't know that their pieces have been selected to be in the show. And at one school, we were able to coordinate it where a girl wrote a piece about her father who had been deployed, and the piece was selected to be in the show. She didn't know it was selected, and she also didn't know that her father was able to attend the show.
Oh, nice.
And so it was this just incredible moment where we were able to celebrate this young writer, be able to put her work on stage, and then at the end of the show, her dad came in and they had this amazing reunion. I get chills just thinking about it now. Yeah, it's incredible. And there's so many stories of just kids who are being able to be seen and heard in a new way, through our programming or through our visits, where either a teacher is seeing a child in a different way or the child is seeing themselves in a different way because they're doing things that are outside of their normal everyday activities. So
That's gotta be great for their confidence levels
Mm-hmm.
and helping them succeed in the future.
Yeah.
How does United Way support help your organization fulfill its mission beyond funding?
Beyond funding, I think, United Way is incredible at connecting, right? Connecting organizations that are doing like work, bringing people together. So many of the events that United Way holds, when I get a chance to meet other people who are in the community doing great work that I wouldn't otherwise met. So I think just being that kind of a connector and the link is helpful as well beyond the funding.
Yeah, I think, like working with all the member agencies and being able to help the collaborative efforts really helps the agencies, us at United Way, and also the whole community too, so. What changes or needs have you seen emerging in the community over the past few years?
Changes or needs, yeah. I've been thinking about that question. Like, do the changes and needs ever really change? I mean, they do, but I mean, at the core of it, it just continues to be, as a nonprofit organization, how can we continue to do the work at a high level as we're always kind of shifting, adapting with the changing landscapes around us, landscapes of giving, landscape of political landscapes, whatever it might be. Like, how can we continue to stay grounded in what we do and be able to do the work that we need to do. And so, United Way funding is vital. Every dollar that we bring in helps us continue to keep our doors open. We create everything you see here in Auburn, right? So if you go see a show at the Playhouse, all of that was created here. The sets, the costumes, we bring the actors here to rehearse. We are bringing dollars into Cayuga County, right? All of the work that we do in our education side, same thing. We're creating sets, costumes, everything here in-house. And that all, it costs a lot of money to continue to do it at a high level, and we can't do any less, because if we put an experience, especially into a school that doesn't uphold that responsibility of creating a really exceptional experience, we could miss the opportunity with a child forever, right? And they just become, no, that theater's not for me, that wasn't, what was that, I'm not interested. And so we have a really big responsibility to continue to do that. So I mean, it's, as far as really looking at change, I don't know if it's a change, but I do also think that it's really critical to create moments of connection now more than ever. In a world where we can continue to see each other as so different, and you versus me, and divided, theater creates that chance for folks to come together and have a shared communal experience that you're not going to get in lots of other places, right? And so I think that is something that I'm really aware of these days, for sure.
Thank you. What are some of the biggest challenges you're facing? You know, is it making those connections? Is it funding? Is it something operationally?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenges that we face sometimes is having people understand just that creating live theater and creating these experiences are worthwhile,
Right.
and also that they cost a lot of money to put on a well done production. Finding, new money, new dollars, trying to reach outside of kind of our normal network and continuing to find ways to ensure that, that we can continue to do the work is challenging, just as everybody is feeling the costs of everything rising, and so it's we're all feeling that in our homes and in our, especially in our not-for-profit, but yeah, so I think making sure people understand what we do, why we do it, why it's important, and continuing to find new money.
Where do you see the greatest opportunity for growth or impact coming up in the future?
Greatest opportunity for growth, truly, there's so many school districts that don't have our programming. We're in 16 school districts, but there's hundreds of school districts throughout New York State, so connections with new school districts are always helpful. So if anybody has a connection to a school district that doesn't currently have our programming, we would love to talk to you. Yeah, just continuing to create access, and making sure that whether it's with our in-school programming that the United Way supports, or whether it's at the Playhouse, that people feel like that they have access to it, that there aren't barriers to it, and at the Playhouse that it's a place that they belong, right, and a place that they should be.
And so you've talked a lot about the schools. What ages are the programs for? Are they for all ages, K through 12?
Yep, we have individual programming for each grade, K through 5, so they're getting their own tailored show for the needs at that grade level, with a pre-performance workshop prior to that show to make sure that they have the tools that they need to actively view that performance. And then we have the middle school programming, which I touched on briefly, the Echoes program, and then at the high school level we have a show called Improv for All, which takes the skills that improvisational actors learn and applies them to real life skills, and how high schoolers can, even if they have no interest in doing theater, can take some of these skills and really apply them to their life.
Interesting. Wow. Wow. How can community members get involved, either through volunteering, donations, spreading the word, different ways?
Yeah, so we need volunteers during the summer months if folks are interested in ushering. We have a real need for ushers for our shows out at the Merry-Go-Round Playhouse. So you just have to be 16 years or older and able to get to the venue. But we train you on everything else, so that would be super helpful. I mentioned connections with school districts. If anybody has any school districts that they think, I wonder if they get the Rev programming in their building, I'm not sure, you can reach out to me or ask your school district, and I can, obviously come out and meet with whoever might be the right person to chat with about that. We have after-school programming and summer programming as well. So if you're looking to register your child to learn kind of the fundamentals of theater performance and production, you can check out our website as far as that goes. And yeah, come out and see a show, I'm always happy to meet with anyone to talk about our education programming, so.
So if I was interested in volunteering, would I call? Would I go to the website?
Oh, yeah, you could just give us a call, go on our website, and either way, and we can direct you.
What's the website?
Sure, it's www.therevtheater.com, and theater is spelled R-E, which is the fancy theater folk way to spell it, so.
I am sure I have taken my children to many of your programs at my own community library, and they always loved it when they were little. So, do you have annual events or programs that you would like people to know about? You talked a little bit about the summer program.
Yes, we have our 2026 Broadway in the Finger Lakes season coming up. We also have our brand new concert series that we have announced. So in addition to our musical theater fair that folks are used to seeing, we have new concerts. We're going to have a medium coming in to do readings. So
That's exciting.
Yeah, we have a lot of new interesting programming, and so I would just encourage you to check out the website for all of the events that we have coming up this summer and beyond.
All right, thank you. So if you had one more staff person, one more volunteer, one more resource, what would you want the most? What would be your wish list?
Oh my gosh. I had one more staff person. That's a great question. I think I would have that person going out and every day just going out to school districts and saying, hey, have you heard of the Rev? They want to ensure that your students have this right in their building, the opportunity to be changed through live theater, like just all day, every day, going out and meeting with the people who are so busy, who don't have the time to jump on a phone call with me, who don't have, they are so swamped. But just the chance to take them out to lunch or buy them a coffee and, bring some donuts to the office and just say, hey, the Rev Theater Company is doing some really incredible things and you should check them out.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing your time and insight with us today and for everything your agency does to support individuals and families across Cayuga County. To learn more or get involved, visit therevtheater.com or unitedwayofcayugacounty.org. And thank you for watching this episode of Cayuga Connections, Conversations with United Way. Stay tuned. After a quick break, we'll be chatting with David Ward of St. Peter and John Episcopal Soup Kitchen. Hello, welcome to Cayuga Connections, Conversations with United Way, a series where we shine a spotlight on the people and programs strengthening our community every day. I'm Lisa Kaminski, Executive Director of the United Way of Cayuga County. Your United Way invests in local solutions that help families thrive, and we're honored to partner with agencies that are on the front lines, supporting community resilience, youth opportunities, healthy communities, and financial security. Today we're talking with David Ward from St. Peter and John Episcopal Soup Kitchen, and I'm so glad you're joining us today.
I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you for being here. So for those who might not be familiar, can you share a little bit about the mission of your agency and what you're most known for?
Well, we are a soup kitchen who feeds the homeless and less fortunate in Auburn. There's 2 motels in Auburn that the county has with homeless in. We're both within easy walking distance from them. We have been in existence since 2003, I believe, and we're still going strong.
That's great. That's great that you're able to be in an accessible location for people and to provide that support to people in the community. Can you tell us more about the programs that utilize United Way donor dollars and who they primarily serve and how those dollars are used?
Our donations come from many different sources, individuals, also some of the more rich people around Auburn tend to give us some money too. Plus, we get a lot of donations of money. We also get donations of goods, of food. Somebody will have a big party. Not as many people show up. So they come and bring us some of the extra food.
You mentioned that you are able to accept monetary donations, but also food donations. Are you able to accept personal care item donations?
Yes, usually at Christmas time and one other time of the year, we give out personal items to people, toothpaste, etc.
And I understand the agency was a recipient on some of our personal care drive items from last year. So if people were interested in donating those to our
Yes.
personal care drive, your agency might
Yes.
also benefit from that as well.
Right, yes, we can.
That's
And if
fantastic.
we benefit from it, that means our clients benefit from it also.
Yes, that's true, yes, definitely. Is there a story that you might be able to share that can illustrate the impact of your work?
Well, here a few years ago, we had this gentleman, he was homeless. He had some mental problems also. Winter comes along, and he's still homeless. We supplied him with some blankets, food, whatever we could do for him to keep him going through the whole winter. He went through the whole winter without being inside except for coming to our soup kitchen.
You mentioned that that particular gentleman struggled with some other mental health issues. You must collaborate with other agencies.
Yes, we
in the
collaborate with
community.
social services and some of the other agencies around Auburn to try to help some of these people.
That collaborative work is really beneficial both to the agencies and the people that utilize
Yes.
those services. So
Yes.
it's great that you're able to make those connections.
Yes, we open up our doors probably once a month to some different organization that come in to help these people out, set up a table and help these people out.
That's great. How does United Way's support help your organization fulfill its mission beyond just dollars?
Volunteers. We get some volunteers through some of your advertising, whatever, just talking with people. We get volunteers quite often that way.
And in what ways might people volunteer? What kind of volunteer roles might you have?
You know, right now I could use a nice assistant is what I could use, but we operate from about 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can come in for a whole volunteer session, or you can do half and half. The first half is prepping the food and putting sandwiches in bags and things like this, where the second half is the serving the people themselves.
And do volunteers need to be of a certain age?
To work in the kitchen, you gotta be at least 14 years old, but we take younger kids in there and they give out lunches and stuff, they really enjoy it.
That's good.
And they get to see a different side of the people than what they're used to seeing.
Yes, definitely. And can volunteers volunteer short-term, long-term? Is there any specific time frame?
No, whatever they wanna do.
Great.
We'll welcome
Great.
anyone.
Well, hopefully we can help you find some volunteers. Perhaps people can find some of those opportunities on our Volunteer Cayuga website if your agency has posted any up on there yet, but we can help you do that.
Okay, thank you.
What changes or needs have you seen emerging in the community over the past couple of years?
The past couple of years, we've been pretty steady. Of course, we have more, we serve more lunches at the end of the month than we do at the beginning of the month because of SNAP and stuff. They run out of their benefits. And also on good days, we get a lot more people in there than we do on stormy days.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges your agency is facing right now, whether that's financial or?
Financial, really, it's financial
financial.
right now. Volunteers go up and down. Right now, we've been up quite a little bit, although they are starting to drop a little bit now. But sometimes it's difficult to find something for all the volunteers to do, but we always do.
Yes, I'm sure when we have those volunteers willing, we can find something for,
We'll find
some way
something.
for them to
We'll
help
find
us.
something to do.
Yeah. What do you see are the greatest opportunities for growth or impact over the next couple of years?
We're open 3 days a week now, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I would love to open up Tuesdays also, but we just financially cannot do it at this present time. Because our mission statement is, no one goes hungry in Auburn yard. We're open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Salvation Army's open Thursdays and Fridays. That leaves Tuesdays and Sundays with no meals.
Yeah, that's a gap, definitely. Would you foresee being able to open if it were just a financial
Yes, it's
piece of
really-
that?
Yes, it's really financial, yes.
Financial. How can community members get involved through volunteering? We mentioned a little bit about how they can do that, but would they contact your organization?
Contact our organization or contact the church itself.
The church itself.
The secretary there will pass some messages on to me.
And if someone wanted to make a donation to the agency, how might they do that? Could they just reach out via phone?
Just reach out to us. Actually, we are forming our own 501c presently, and we're going to change our name to Auburn Community Soup Kitchen and get away from the church a little bit. Not physically or anything. They welcome us there, but we just want to kind of have our own 501c.
We'll watch for that in the future. How might people help spread the word?
Volunteer or?
Whether volunteering or just letting folks know that the service is available.
I really don't know. I don't know. Ask us how many volunteers we have. I really don't know.
Well, hopefully, if you have information that you could share, and your current volunteers are able to help spread the message about what is being offered, so that the word gets out through the community. Do you have any annual events or programs that you would like people to know about?
Not really, although, let's see, I don't think it was this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, we were open on Christmas Day. Because people are still hungry on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And we try to be open as much as we can. Holidays, everything, we're there.
You're definitely providing a very valuable service to the community. If you had one more staff person or volunteer or resource, what would you want the most? Like, what's your wish list?
A good cook. We have an excellent cook right now, but she's going on vacation the end of April and stuff, and we could use someone, a good cook.
Backup. Yep. Yes, definitely. Well, thank you, David, for sharing your time and your insight with us today, and for everything that your agency does to support individuals and families in Cayuga County. To learn more or get involved, you can visit St. Peter and John Episcopal Soup Kitchen or UnitedWayOfCayugaCounty.org. And thank you for watching this episode of Cayuga Connections. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.